This is Taking Stock on Bloomberg. I'm Pimm Fox. Now, barcode scanning has gone from being a feature on just cereal boxes to a technology that many businesses rely on in order to manage their entire supply chain. Here to give us some insight into the industry with our CEO sit-down is Anders Gustafsson. He is the Chief Executive of Zebra Technologies. Anders, good to have you with us on Bloomberg.
Thank you. I'm enjoying being here.
Talk a little bit about the company and its role in barcode scanning technology, because Zebra Technologies has been around for more than 40 years. Indeed, you were just saying that you're going to be celebrating next year your 20th anniversary as a publicly traded company. What is the change that's happened at Zebra Technologies?
Yeah, so Zebra, we're approaching $1 billion in annual sales. We have consistently delivered very solid margins. We independent industry analysts peg our market share to more than twice that of our closest competitor. And we serve more than 90% of the global Fortune 500s. And we really help them with the applications around how to better identify, track, and manage their most important assets, various transactions, and people for a variety of vertical markets.
Now, you also produce the actual hardware. You've got scanning technology, you have printers, high-speed printers, for example, that companies are using in order to sort and categorize various stock keeping units. What about the new types of technology that you've been applying? For example, you've got this IQ Color, has to do with thermal printing.
Yeah, so we have a broad range of different types of printing and other technologies for better identify and track different types of assets. So it could be IQ Colors, to say, which is more of a supplies business. We can now, for the first time, put color on a usually black and white type of label. So that helps for sortation and other applications like that. And RFID is a big industry mover today.
What is that? Because I know that Walmart, for example, has been very interested in rolling out RFID.
Yeah, RFID, the short version is basically an electronic version of a barcode. So you can read it from much farther afield, so you have a lot more flexibility and agility in what the technology can do. And it's used for any kind of inventory tracking, people tracking. There's different types of it, but a very versatile technology. And for us, we had our best quarter ever in Q2 for RFID, and particularly around itemized garment tracking.
Well, there's been a lot changing in the way that apparel has been tracked inside the store. Also, it has to do with tracking individuals. That's changed too. Tell me about barcodes on wristbands. That's an area you've been pushing.
Yeah, that's a great area for us. It's one of our, healthcare has been one of our fastest growing and more recent markets that we've entered. Historically, patients had wristbands, but they tended to be handwritten, which could be hard to read, or they can get smudged. So we developed a dedicated wristband printer for the healthcare industry, which is very easy to use. Certainly helped facilitate the work of busy healthcare workers. And for us, we've sold well over 100 million wristbands now.
Now, it's not just that companies are using barcode technology. That's understandable. Manage the supply chain, check inventories, and so on. But there's also an element, for example, in the food chain. You want to be able to go backwards into the food chain just as much as you want to track things going forward. Explain this idea of going backwards and finding the source of specific types of food.
Yeah, I think there's a great opportunity for our type of technology to really enable the food supply chain to have much better backward visibility to all the way into the farm that actually grows the produce or the meat or whatever. As an example, in the automotive industry, an automotive manufacturer would put our type of technology on the chassis, on the engine, on all the parts, and if there's a quality issue, they can track it all the way back to the individual supplier, the individual batch. So if there's a recall, they can be very specific about what, which cars to call back.
So if there was a recall, let's say in the meat industry, you could actually trace that particular type of meat all the way back to the source using this kind of scanning technology.
Absolutely, and the industry needs to kind of adopt it a bit more to really make it a bit more of a mandate for it to really take off and be that. But from a technology perspective, that's absolutely possible.
What about geographic regions and operations right now? You've been pushing into emerging markets, Brazil and China and so on. But how is the North American business doing right now?
North America is doing well for us. We had a very strong quarter in second quarter. We grew 12% 20%, I think, if I remember right. So we've had a good recovery in the U.S. in the last year.
And Europe was surprisingly strong as well during the 3 months.
Yep, Europe was very strong, and the European economy has been doing well for us, but the exchange rate has been a little bit more of a challenge as the euro has depreciated against the dollar.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Anders Gustafsson, coming to us from the Chief Executive of Zebra Technologies, telling us about barcodes.